Luna que eres sola, luna que eres mía, luna que proteges mi alma todavía. ¿Cómo contemplaste silenciosamente tantas injusticias, tantas noches frías? Un ejército de poetas y enamorados aún defienden tu trono. Una jauría de lobos y dementes todavía gritan por tu luz. Luna, hoy te condeno. Luna, desconfío. Luna, yo te apago. Luna, me despido.
Welcome to Lunar Conversation number 9. I cannot believe we've made it this far, 9 months of these conversations with collaborators of this project called 13 Lunar Meditations that we released on this beautiful double LP. And what you just heard was the track Luna. The lyrics were written and performed by Sofia Rei, and on the bass you heard Stéphane Diamantakiou, and both of them are here with me today and will be playing this track for you live right here in a bit. First, I want to invite my dear collaborator and beloved friend, the wonderful DB Boyko.
Me, what's up, dog?
How you doing?
I'm good. I just harvested carrots from the garden.
Oh,
so
wow.
I thought I would share that with you.
Under the almost harvest moon.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful.
They're really fantastic. So in case we need any extra added noise, I'm ready.
Noise or some substance.
Yeah.
I'm going to invite the wonderful, amazing bassist, Stéphane Diamantakiou, who's become such a dear friend and collaborator and partner. Hello!
How are you? Hi, DB.
How are you?
Hi.
I'm good, thank you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
And you're here close. DB is out in Gabriola Island, right?
Yep.
And Stéphane, you're in Joliet near Montreal.
Yeah, exactly.
Beautiful. And lastly, my dear, dear friend and Mikale's sister and wonderful, incredible musician, Sofia Rei.
Hello,
Sophie! You've been doing some touring.
Yeah, who'd have known?
Yeah, does it feel weird in these days?
Yeah, it's been very strange, but we're going back to it next week, and it's super exciting because I don't know, it's interesting how much of your individuality and your the identity of your own thing is performing. And then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, this is my element. Yeah, I definitely needed this stage. And it feels really good. And people have been like really welcoming also the experience. So it's good.
Yeah, man. It's been very sparse for me, but in May, Stéphane and I and a few other musicians, we did a concert, and it felt just so exactly like you said. It feels like you're like, oh, this is home.
This is what we used to do every other.
We love to do.
Exactly. Yeah, this is our thing. Yes, makes sense.
So how are you doing? Is the jet lag over?
Yes. 100%. Yes. Yeah, feels good. Yes, 100%.
And where are you right now?
I'm in New Jersey, and I am in the home of my dear friend Sofia Toselo. She's my soul sister, also from Argentina. Every time it's like, oh, Sofia, you know Sofia? Yes, of course. Oh, the singer? Yes. The singer from Argentina? Yes. The blonde one? No. That's
different Sofia.
Different Sofia. So the blonde one is my friend, Sofia from Córdoba, Argentina. And this is her studio and in New Jersey. And she I'm spending some time with her today, and she lent me her place, so that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yes.
But normally you're out in Brooklyn.
I'm in Brooklyn, yeah. So
Yeah.
this feels home because it's very Latin American oriented, as you can see, the colors and the making. Like there are some traditional instruments around that I won't bring them to our session, but they're here. A bombo, like right there, you see? Yay.
Bring it.
Exactly.
But we're really like all not really where we're from. Hi, hello.
That's Octavio. Hello, Octavio.
Hi, Octavio. Because Stefan, you're originally from France, right?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
Sophie from Argentina, and I'm from Jerusalem. And Didi, were you born on Vancouver Island or no?
No, actually, I was born in Ottawa.
Okay.
I'm about
you're
as
from
Canadian
the
as
other side
you
of the
can get.
continent, though.
Didn't stay there very long, but yes. And then I've lived in Canada basically,
Nice.
except for a short stint in Kansas, which I'll tell you about at another time. But the first time I saw Sun Ra was in an old auditorium in Kansas, which was fantastic in the 1980s.
Full band?
A huge band.
Wow.
Yeah, and complete theatrics. I was completely blown away. I was coming down with something, and so I was sort of in a fever, and the whole performance was just like a continued fever of
Can imagine that.
beautiful chaos, and yeah, there you go.
Nice. I can imagine.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Great.
So, I want to talk a little bit about this track, about Luna. Sophie, maybe you can say a few words about when you wrote it, if you remember. It was a while back.
It was a while back.
I was looking at the emails to find it, and I was like, oh, wow, this was a really long time ago.
Indeed.
So I don't know if you remember, but if you remember, if you can say something about what inspired you.
So it was interesting.
Or what angered you, rather.
Right. I was thinking, probably, a lot of people might feel this either melancholic or, some kind of love story with the moon. And I'm like, this motherfucking moon, it's been out there like contemplating all this injustice and all these fucked up things that are happening in the world. I'm angry. I'm upset. So I need to say something about this. And that's kind of the vibe of the track. I hope not to come out as an angry person, but sometimes I am. So exactly. It's okay to be angry. So I was like, kind of like, it's like, I appreciate you, but what's going on here? So it's kind of like the dark side in the sense of all these different things that have been happening throughout the history of the world, and you're still there and we're still here, and nothing is changing. So that was the vibe. But it was like 3 years ago.
No, it was more than that. It was
wow.
It was it was parallel to our residency at the Stone.
Oh my God.
When was that?
Well, that was 2017. That was 4 years ago.
No, it wasn't, because Maya was in me, and Maya was born in 2015, and I was very pregnant when we did that. So it must have been 14. It was like October or September. It was just about 5 years ago.
That's a long time. It's a long time.
Yeah.
It is.
I know, but it was, and what you wrote it towards the residency, because we performed it at the residency together, and I actually composed music to it, but it didn't end up on the album.
Right.
And I mean, the bits of it that I remember were the music was kind of dramatic. It was like
It had to be.
I don't remember exactly, but it was something like Luna, da 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 da, Luna.
Yes. You are turning into a tango singer. This is bad. This is bad. You know, dramatic enough from the Argentinians. Yeah.
And then it felt like, okay, wait a minute. But I loved the lyric. I loved it so much, and I loved your reading of it. You sent me, I think you recorded it like on your phone.
Yeah, I don't know why. Perhaps at the time I didn't have any better recording capabilities, and I'm like, okay, I'll just send a voice memo, and hopefully it won't be noisy around me.
Yeah, and I thought I was gonna need it just for kind of like ambience, because at first I just created this like mixed track of all kinds of writers' voices, and it was just part of that.
Nice.
I never thought I would actually use it.
Right.
But then Stéphane, in Moon Story, Stéphane had this amazing intro, and we did like 3 or 4 takes of it, and every intro was more beautiful than the last. I was like, how am I gonna toss all of this in the garbage? So that's how this track was born, the hybrid was born, and somehow you matched up. So how do you guys feel about that? Are you okay with it?
Of course. Yeah, I heard the track. I'm like, yeah.
It sounds like you were in the room together.
Yes, exactly. That's good.
Yeah, thank you. It's more bass on the recorder.
Yeah,
exactly. I'm happy with more bass, really.
So, yeah, it sounds like it was meant for each other in some ways.
Yeah, it's great. Anyway, it's natural. I mean, yeah.
It sounds, it's somehow, even with the phone recording, like that energy penetrated, I feel, survived the phone.
Totally, exactly.
Do you guys wanna try it right
now?
Yeah. Or in a couple
that'd be great.
That'd be amazing.
Let's do it.
So just to tell whoever is watching that you guys have actually never met before or played together before. So the recording was made in the studio, and then separately. So this is the first time you're playing it together. In fact,
this is the real thing.
It'll be with an audience of at least one little person. Amazing. So DB and I will step out and leave you to it.
Sounds good. Let's try it. Luna que eres sola, luna que eres mía, luna que proteges mi alma todavía. ¿Cómo contemplaste silenciosamente tantas injusticias? Tantas noches frías. ejército de poetas y enamorados aún definen tu trono. Una jauría de mentes todavía gritan por tu luz. Luna, te condeno. Luna, me confío. Luna, yo te amo. Luna. Me despido. Me despido. Me despido. Yay!
Fantastic.
Fun.
That was so great.
I'm going to add to that.
See, it's easier this way with actually like interaction rather than just speaking the poem.
Yeah.
Nice.
And there was some cool, like, I don't know, some clinking sound from the background of somebody. It was cool. I kind of added a little bit of, it's really rainy here today, so it felt like the rain.
Nice.
How do you guys feel about improvising over like this, like in from far away? It's a different thing, eh? We had to get used to it this year.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with that, and it's different, right? We used to feel the energy of the person we improvise with, and it's I think it forced the imagination to create another space for me. But yeah, it's fair. I mean, we have to, right? To try these different things. So.
Yeah, 100%. I think it is. I think we can get. It is a whole different experience from the live situation. And I think what I learned this past year and a half, it's been more than a year and a half, crazy, is that we have to treat it as a different type of performance situation with its own goods and bads, where the interaction, of course, is there, but it's just exactly as Stefan was saying, that the way you perceive each other is going to change because you're not in the same room and you're not feeling the energy in the same way. But I think it works, and I think is something that really saved us throughout all this different situation, and we still found a way to communicate and to make something meaningful that people connected to, which is amazing, pretty amazing.
Yeah. And yeah, I think you're right, Stefan, that this we need to imagine a different space. And to me, it feels like, we're kind of transferring chi from one another through a medium that doesn't lend itself naturally to it, maybe, but we have the opportunity to through music to, you know, find our navigation through that. And that's kind of amazing that we're able to even do that, to have these connections, moments of connection in a very virtual, cold environment.
Yeah, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
DB, you recently did
Mm-hmm.
a live stream show, which was kind of a hybrid show. But did that feel different than a regular,
Well,
even though you guys were in the same room?
we were in the same room, so it does make a difference. And the technology didn't work the first round, so we had to stop and reset the gear. But that happens, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess really I'm just always having a sense of history in my earlier years at the Western Front, having done really early telecom projects. And of course, there was not even the chance of having a downbeat together. And this was before there was even Skype. So a lot of the connections were, I think, dial-up. The guy that, interesting enough, the guy that that we worked with in this live stream that we did for Gordon Monahan's festival just a month ago was one of the same guys that I worked with many years ago, and he used the Princeton server. I don't know how he got to that, but that was the way that we were able to bring in. I had people coming in from Tokyo, from San Diego, from New York.
And this is what year? This is a long time ago.
This is a long time ago. I don't know, close to at least 15 years ago.
Okay.
And so, and people kept asking me, what was that experience like? And I, you know, the only thing I could think of was kind of like playing underwater, because you're not making the same electrical connection at the same time, right? And now there's so much sort of with plugins and things like that to be able to mitigate the time frame. So, and that, as you know, Ayelet and I were scheming around ideas how do we, you know, present this material for Lunar Meditations in a different way. And this is early on with COVID, just trying to figure out, you know, how best to see about working with the technology. And it was feeling very dire at that point in time when we started. And then moreover, people have been really developing that. So it's quite remarkable what people can do online. But, you know, I sort of liken it to that. I've never played a big pipe organ, but we think about somebody who plays that instrument in a huge pipe organ in a church, that, you know, they have to have, I can show my hands here. Anyways, you know, the hands are touching the keyboard, but the sound, there's a huge delay in the sound. And so what happens is that you have to transcend whatever you're doing with the hands here. It is being delayed there by, I don't know how many seconds it's supposed to be, or milliseconds, but you get to that point. And to me, that I found that really interesting, that, you know, the mind is capable of going to those kinds of places. You know, you just trust where you are in this moment, even though this moment is different with the experience of listening to it. So this is not new to me in terms of sort of watching that and actually doing some of that as well. So we've come a long way, baby, as they say. Yeah.
This is a beautiful comment from Lana. I thought you would enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, I think it's just, yeah, it's an interesting new challenge. And it's funny because today I did an interview with Galen Lee on her YouTube channel thing, and she asked if we had recorded this album during the pandemic, and I said no, but it feels like it could have been born during the pandemic, because there's something in this piece that speaks about this kind of loneliness and maybe like this connection to each other, but through geography and through, there's something here that penetrates the obvious boundaries that we live with normally. And I think this pandemic situation has created ways for us to transcend our normal structures, which is what I'm excited about, I think, because we have an opportunity to restructure some things. And these online platforms have opened some doors for that. I don't know if you guys feel that, but I definitely do. I feel like there's so many new communities and new adventures and collaborations that are born actually of the limitation.
100%. Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of also just think about, I mean, this is a digital realm, but the actual notion that came about in a lot of the lyrics about staring into the heavens and looking up at the moon, and it doesn't matter where you're from across the globe, that is the common experience, is looking up at that moon. It'll be like the pipe organ, my gaze will be at a different time than when someone else is experiencing that, but it, that is the unifying piece, that, and we will bring to it wherever we are what our experience is, right? So that becomes the beauty of shared experience that is different everywhere.
Absolutely.
100%.
I mean, next month was supposed to be the Moon over Gaza piece. And I just feel, we're entering a new Jewish year, like tomorrow or the next day. And it's this charged period of time right now, of questioning and sorting through everything. That's what we do around this time of year. And I just felt like I need a break. I need a break from this heavy. I need to put the Moon over Gaza aside for a minute and go back to it later. So we're not going to do that next month. We're going to do Tsuki next month. But I just love the way your lyric, Sophie, interacts with the lyric that Nomi Shihab Nye, who is an amazing Palestinian-American poet, she wrote a poem for us for this project called Moon over Gaza, where she speaks from the perspective of the moon, and she's saying basically the same thing that you're saying, but from the perspective of the moon.
On the other side, right?
Yeah, because you're saying, fuck you, moon. What are you doing up there, looking at our misery? And and she says from the perspective of the moon, maybe it's wrong that I am so calm, and it's I see. What is the? I'm trying to remember the exact lyric, but about the sorrows. I see no reason for the sorrows humans make. And this moon is looking over Gaza Strip, which is a very painful and, horrible place to live. Yeah. And it's looking over it, and it's looking over it with some kind of with compassion, and also from this removed perspective. And I found it so interesting that she chose to write it like that. And so painful and powerful. And then to juxtapose that against your lyric that really acknowledges that part of the moon that's celestial, and it sits there, and it has, and we give it so much personality.
Right.
But really
yet there is this neutral, exactly.
It's just a thing in the sky. It's a rock. Right. But this rock, we attach meaning to it, and we personalize it, and so I found it really interesting that she sent that text, and that you sent that text, and the way they worked beautifully together. It's okay. It's part of life, Sosi. The
Indeed.
life that's behind you. the sound behind you. It's all welcome.
Yay!
Do we want to hear what Birdie had to say for this month?
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's do the bird. Let me find it. Wait a minute. So our amazing tech director, Laura Silverman, who is usually with us, is not with us today. So I'm navigating waters here that I'm not that used to.
You're doing a fantastic job.
Exactly.
Where
Yeah.
is it? Where is it? Here she is. There's the bird. All right,
Yay!
you ready?
We're ready.
Here's what's coming. There's another, I'm not going to tell you.
Hello, I'm Birdie from Four Directions NYC, and I am so happy to be working alongside Ayelet. I contributed some lyrics to this album, and I'm really happy to be sharing my knowledge and wisdom on astrology and Native American mythology every month as it applies and pertains to what's happening. A new moon in Virgo trining Uranus, September 6th, 7th. And this is a very particular new moon because Virgo and Uranus are two different energies. I wouldn't say they're opposing, they're just different. And a trine is a positive aspect, so it means they're helping each other. And Virgo being ruled by the 6th house is concerned with habits, routines, patterns, and specifically routines and patterns that are helpful and fastidious and detail-oriented, and that are based on service towards others or a project or the earth itself or animals. With Uranus, the focus is on freedom from expectations, freedom from pressures, just being your unique self. So it's pretty clear that what this new moon is gearing you up to do is kind of take the plunge away from the things that you're used to doing, the way that the way that you're used to doing things, and just kind of get weird with it, and be free and let that version of yourself that's kind of been burgeoning take wing. And with Uranus, there's going to be vision for that as well as like energy, because Uranus is ruled by lightning and it happens quickly, but it gives you this zap to be able to move into that. So basically just make room for that and know that this is what's happening because the sun will still be in Virgo. And so you're still going to be, drawn to doing things in the usual way, but Uranus trine is going to prompt you to do things in the unusual way, in the inventive way. Have fun with it and make space for that. A few days later, on September 10th, we have Venus moving into Scorpio. Venus in Scorpio likes to bring things even closer to us. She wants things that are important to us to be all the way with us. And so we're going to have this energy to give more focus and time and love to the things that are really important to us, whether it's a person, a project, an idea. And as well, we're going to have a chance to kind of get a little deeper with ourselves. With Venus in Libra and Virgo the past few months, it's sort of a more shallow version of Venus, where we're stepping back and observing our passions. But with Venus in Scorpio, we're really feeling our passions. It's palpable. And we can get a little deeper. We can get a lot deeper with Venus in Scorpio. On September 14th, we have Mars moving into Libra. So what I observe with this, when this happens, is it's a chance for us to actually step back and pay a little closer attention without being so hot-headed, without feeling like we have to do something. With Mars and Libra, we can just kind of hold a posture and learn and look and observe. And it doesn't have to be anything deep or anything intense. And some people might feel like, they're stuck and they can't move forward. But, again, Mars is going to move again into more fiery placements, and you're going to be fired up again. So I say take this moment as a chance to just chill and relax. And on September 20th, we have the full corn moon, harvest moon, happens in Pisces. And this is when the fall crops were harvested. And every year, this is a chance for our own harvest to really come to fruition. It's a very fruitful full moon. That being said, it's also a very unearthing moon, being in Pisces, being in the 12th house ruled Pisces water sign. And so what I urge you to do with this moon is, like, even a week before, take a step back and, start breaking from your earthly routine and your tasks and your work, because the moon in Pisces is strong as well. And so if we're not ready, she'll kind of push us into being ready. And so if we're just ready, then we can kind of like move into those waters gracefully and not be knocked over by the waves. But this is a chance to get in touch with your feelings, like, all the way. It's going to bring those deeper processes to the surface. I always find this moon to be super transformative and healing and powerful. So yeah, give yourself extra room with this one. Right after that, we have Sun moving into Libra on September 22nd. And then so our focus is going to go back to partnership and balance, inner balance, outer balance, fairness, equity, making sure the scales are lining up, right? Even more so this year, because on September 27th, a week later, not even, is our last Mercury retrograde of the year in Libra. And so what this Mercury retrograde is here to do is check us on the ways in which we are not balanced, on the ways in which we are not meeting others halfway in the middle, on the ways in which we're like biased, and again, like the Mars in Libra, and ways in which maybe we're acting too much, not considering enough. And whatever those habits and patterns are going to be halted with this Mercury retrograde. And whatever ways in which we haven't been conscious of balance and partnership, we're going to become very conscious of that with this Mercury retrograde. And Libra is a sign that is ruled by Venus. So there's a lot of heart energy, but it's an air sign. So there's also a lot of mental energy. And just even keeping those two things in balance and becoming aware of the balance between those two things is going to be a major theme during Sun in Libra, Mercury retrograde in Libra. All around, as usual, this month is set to heal you, make room for your growth and evolution and awareness. So enjoy and keep me posted, and I'll see you next month.
I had once been a woman. I had once been a human. I had once been made of trees and huckleberries. I had once been a woman. Ay, ay, ay. Healing and growth and retrograde. Ay, ay, ay.
There's always a Mercury retrograde.
I know. It feels like it's more in retrograde than straight these days.
Scary.
I know. But speaking of retrogrades, or rather forward motion, what's in the plans for you guys this coming month and ahead of that?
Well, I'm going on tour next week, believe it or not.
That's
exciting. So we have
your
actually
website right here so people can
Yeah,
check out the dates
we've
and
been
stuff.
working on, we created a collective of Latin American musicians from all corners of whatever is related to Latin American music, more of a pan-Latin, Ibero-American type of community. And we've been working on a platform, and during the pandemic, we switched to an online music series, and we are presenting our very first festival in New York Thursday and Friday, so that's very exciting. And so there's gonna be 8 bands performing at Drum, and I'm gonna be there on the 9th, and then we're going on tour after that. We're going to Maryland to play at Strathmore in Bethesda, and then to Mill Pond Live, which is in East Hampton, on the 11th. And on the 12th, we're playing at Payumet, this cultural center in Cape Cod. So
cool.
and that's gonna be also
near the water.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then back, and I'm also starting classes at NYU, so it's gonna be an intense week, but of all good things. So I'm excited.
Wow. What is it like now teaching at NYU? Are you still with the plexiglass and all that stuff, or have they removed it?
Last semester I teach a number of different classes, and last semester I was teaching performance live, and it was very complicated because we had 3 rooms linked. Wow. And I was controlling 4 Zoom sessions and 2 iPads at the same time, and 3 sound systems at the same time. And
I remember
I managed, but it was like I was like on the verge of a nervous breakdown, like the Almodovar movie.
Break your brain, yeah.
I think I learned a few things by that, but now we have only 2 rooms linked. Woo! So we have, the number of students that can take a class in person is reduced, but they for them to perform live without a mask, they have to do it in a separate room. So we have the rooms linked, and we also have singing masks when we do exercises.
Are they the duck face?
So it looks like exactly everybody looks like Donald Duck. So we're doing that, and then I'm teaching musicianship, and those classes are also going now in person, and that's okay because we can all be in the same room in the labs. But it's a whole different world, but it's pretty amazing that is going to happen, and that we are all going to. I mean, we just had, for the first time in a year and a half, a full meeting with all the incoming students and all the faculty. That
in person.
We were never, like, in a year and a half, we never met in the same physical place, all of us. So it was like kind of an emotional. It was like it was good. It was good.
Amazing. Wow, have a great tour.
Yeah.
It sounds like a lot of fun. And you're on tour with
so we put out an album in June, and we are Umbral, and we are presenting this. It's an electronic music project with a lot of elements from South American folk music, experimental pop, improvisation, neo, soul, funk, all kinds of things. A little bit of hip hop thrown in there. It's very exciting. We're touring with that project and every time is a different experience, and it's a growing experience, musically speaking. So it's interesting. It's great.
Wow, I can't wait for you guys to arrive on the other side of the border.
I know.
At
Yeah.
one point.
I think it will happen, hopefully
It will
next summer.
happen.
Yes,
It'll
yeah,
happen.
100%. 100%.
Stéphane, how about you? What's been going on? What's coming up?
Wow. It's going to. I'm going to in Ontario again for a tour. Mid-September for the Guelph Festival, and
Great.
Hamilton also, something else festival.
Oh, nice. Wow.
So yeah, pretty excited about going back on the road and playing music with friends. That'll be cool. And before that, I have another project. A friend of mine doing something with traditional music from Quebec and modular synthesizer. So yeah, it's gonna be something like acoustic band and modular synths. So it's gonna be something.
That's so fun.
Nice.
And yeah, I have to compose for a project of mine. I'm on it during this year, so it's gonna be like electric and electronic project with a remix during the set. So yeah, it's new for me, but it's gonna be something. It's big. Yeah, I'm going to do it at the Centre Expérimental Musique à Chicoutimi during next year. So it's a lot of work, but yeah, I'm happy with that.
Amazing.
Fantastic.
And this is the website of your record label.
Yeah,
it has a lot of interesting projects on it.
Yeah, the new record of Géraldine Aiguileuse is going out in November or so, and
I'm
working on this one.
That.
And Camp de Brume, it's program of we're doing residencies for artists in music creation, and we're putting out some record also. But
amazing. Yay!
So
many good things.
Yeah, keep busy.
Yeah. DB, do you have anything interesting coming up soon?
Not musically, but it's certainly making me feel like that needs to happen soon. But I am pretty busy with a project in Vancouver at the Roundhouse where I spend my days. And we're honoring all the courageous acts of art making that happened during the pandemic. I work for the Vancouver Park Board, and we have a state-of-the-art facility of an exhibition hall and a performance center. And every year we look at the work that has been done in community. So that's part of my portfolio. And so people have just done amazing pieces and amazing things within the community over the last year. We have a system of studios that are in what used to be field houses for sports, and artists are in there. And in 2 locations, there were film collectives. And so they had to figure out, this was when things were in serious lockdown, how to deliver stuff. Right. And so they were putting little mini screens on the back of bicycles and on the back of a pickup truck. So they were actually delivering movies to people in different locations on the move. There was a project with seniors that, like a lot of things, moved online. There's Haida Weaver who had been teaching elders how to do cedar strip bark weaving. And so he changed all his work to go into a video studio. So there's been we're actually premiering a film. There's 5 artist projects that survived and flourished. There was, what else was there? There's just many other, the project with another project with elders that, moving online was just not even an option. They're just not in that comfort zone. They're just not into being online. So they did projects with the telephone and conference calls. And so the work that came out of that generated some ideas around postcards. So people were sending in their ideas. They were sent postcards, so they would send them back to the community center, and they've been collected into a book saying, oh, I can't remember what it's called now, but If You Miss Me, it's called.
That's beautiful.
And so anyways, we're moving towards that, and there's a lot of different communities coming together to present this work in an exhibit, in video, in performances. We have performances out in parks and things like that. So I'm full bore getting that together for the opening on the 17th of September. So
is any of that going to be online? Is there any way to
there will be some stuff online. People could just go to roundhouse.ca. And at least those events will be, some will be accessible. We'll be loading things up. We have in the exhibition hall, there will be one of the pieces is called The Wall of Daily Miracles, and it's just all the different things that people did, on a daily basis to help people get through the pandemic. They really made a big difference in a lot of cases in terms of connecting communities. So, yeah.
Amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of it sounds like also touches on traditional First Nations art practices.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we're very excited about that.
Super exciting.
Yeah.
And well, I'll tell you a bit about what I'm going to be doing this month. So, I mean, it's been we recently recorded a few pieces with Stéphane and a few other musicians for something that's coming up in October, and that felt just so nice to play again after a while. And I really miss playing. But really, most of what I do right now is around the Orchard of Pomegranates on Patreon, and this month especially, it's kind of, I feel like September, or rather Tishrei, like the first month of the Jewish calendar, is always this. I feel like the fish that I am. I feel like the water gets deeper, and it just gets a little blurrier, and you just kind of have to sort through so much. And this month it's also the equinox. So we've been dream weaving, which has been my favorite part of it. There are many parts to what we do on the orchard, but my favorite is what we literally dream journal together on WhatsApp. And every equinox and solstice we're going to be doing, this is going to be the first one on the 20th of this month. We're going to do a Dreamweave workshop where we work with these dream threads to actually make stuff with them. So that's happening this month, and I'm really excited for that. I'm really curious to see what's going to come out of some of the people's dreams. The dreams are really intense. It's amazing to share your dreams and to receive dreams every day. And people are many parts of the world, so we literally, like, every few hours somebody like throws you a dream piece.
That's
and
nice.
You get to get a little glimpse into people's deepest souls. So that's my favorite thing on the orchard. And we're doing other things as well. But it's been such a gift. And I'll also tell you about next month here. So we're going to be joined by our good friend Kyoko Kitamura, who I love Kyoko. She wrote the words to Tsuki. So she's going to be here with us, and we're going to talk about the moon, and it's going to be sweet and tender. And we're going to wait with the conversation about Gaza just a little while longer. Because damn it, why not? Let's just wait. Let's just take a breath here. I just feel I need to take a breath. I don't know how you guys feel.
Good plan. Good plan.
Yeah. It's just all the rhythms and all the flows are all just a little tilted right now, it feels like. So just going with the current and staying alive.
100%.
So, my darlings, thank you for being here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was
Yes.
beautiful.
Thanks, Ayelet, for putting this together, and for the orchard of pomegranates, and for all the work that you do. You know, I really appreciate it, and I know that a lot of people really appreciate it, and it's fabulous, and it brings us together, and it's amazing. It's inspiring, and I don't know how you do all the things you do.
Look who's talking.
Crazy.
Like, to hear this from Sofia Rei, excuse me, but my darling.
Yeah.
All the things you do.
Oh my God.
It feels like there's 5 of you.
There are some dabblings here and there.
Yeah.
Cool. Well,
And
thank
I
you
just wanna
for
say
all
also,
of it.
'cause
And
you
super nice meeting you.
You
Yes.
mentioned the Origin Festival, and I just want to say that Sofia Tosello, who's home.
Yes, she's gonna be on it too, and she's fantastic. She's gonna be on the 10th. So yeah, a beautiful band. So, you know, for whoever is, you know, listening to this and will be in New York, yeah, this coming week, that's gonna be happening, and I'm excited. We've been planning for it for a long time, and it's now a reality. And we're going, yes, I know, it's super
happening.
Congrats.
Yeah.
It's exciting. All right, my darlings. Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias.
Everybody stay safe.
Yes.
It's still a tough time.
Indeed.
And yeah, take care of yourself on the road, both of you. And make beautiful music. We need it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Take care, guys.
Bye. Thank you. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao.